Every day, we see the darker side of the world around us. We witness how people can hurt others in ways that are hard to understand. It's a sad part of life, but it's something we can't ignore. As someone who dives into the world of crime, I'm here to share the most shocking stories and try to understand what drives people to do such things. I'm Michael, and today, I've got another unreal true crime story for you. It was a calm February night in Albuquerque when everything changed for the Otero family. What started as a normal evening quickly turned into a nightmare. Nicholas Otero had been chatting with a girl online, not knowing that meeting her in person would lead him into a dangerous trap. When his older brother Elias tried to step in and protect him, things took a shocking turn. Gunshots broke the quiet night, leaving the family and their community in shock. Who set this up? How did an innocent meeting turn so deadly? This is a story of betrayal, danger, and the Otero family's fight for justice. Elias Otero was born on November 19, 1996, in Albuquerque, the largest city in New Mexico. He was the firstborn child of Luis and Alicia Otero, a hard-working couple whose greatest wish was to build a loving family. Over time, their dream came true as they were blessed with 4 more children. Elias grew up in a warm and nurturing environment, surrounded by his siblings. One of them, Nikolai, was 4 years younger than him. From a young age, Elias displayed courage and a strong sense of responsibility. He had a natural desire to protect those around him and always strive to do the right thing. During his high school years, Elias's outgoing personality helped him make many friends, and he was a source of pride for his parents. Despite his love for video games and an active social life, he excelled academically and had a sharp sense of humor that made him popular among his peers. When the time came to decide on a career, Elias followed his protective instincts and chose a path in law enforcement. This decision didn't surprise his family, as he was known for his calm demeanor and commitment to justice. His natural ability to bring order and respect to any situation made him stand out. His mother, Alicia, often leaned on him for support, knowing he could handle challenges with maturity. Elias's respectful nature and gentlemanly demeanor set him apart, reflecting values that seemed rare among his peers. By late 2020, Elias had graduated as a corrections officer and was already working at the Albuquerque Penitentiary. At just 24 years old, he had built a promising future marked by professional success and a recent engagement. While planning his wedding and looking forward to starting a new chapter with his fiancée, Elias continued to live near his parents and siblings, maintaining the close-knit bond that defined their family. On the night of February 10, 2021, life took an unexpected turn for the family. The day began like any other, but events soon spiraled into a nightmare. That evening, Nicholas, Elias's younger brother, connected with an 18-year-old girl named Annabella Dukes through a popular social media app. Struck by her beauty and charm, Nicholas quickly felt a strong connection with her during their brief conversation. To his surprise, Anna suggested they meet in person that same night. Thrilled by the prospect, Nicholas agreed and picked her up from the address she provided. Driving his red Lexus, Nicholas felt confident and excited. It wasn't unusual for him to leave the house late at night, due to his job at a nearby cemetery, so his departure didn't raise any concerns at home. When he arrived to pick up Anna, her beauty exceeded his expectations. She suggested they drive to a park in the city center for a quiet, intimate setting. During the drive, however, Nicholas began to sense something was off. Anna commented on his diamond-studded necklace and inquired about its cost. She also asked if he carried a weapon or cash in his car, making Nicholas uneasy. Although these questions raised red flags, he chose to continue the evening, hoping things would improve. When they reached the park, Nicola noticed her phone displayed an ongoing call, suggesting someone had been eavesdropping on their conversation. Before he could react, another car pulled up behind them and three armed men emerged. The situation escalated rapidly as the men forced Nicholas out of his vehicle. Amid the chaos, one of the assailants pleaded to use his weapon against the defenseless young man. Fortunately for Nicholas, the attackers only went as far as searching his car. However, his suspicions grew stronger that Anna had set him up. His doubts were confirmed moments later when he saw her chatting with the men as if they were lifelong friends. The humiliation deepened when he realized Anna seemed to be in a romantic relationship with one of them. This young man, Adrian Avila, was only 17 years old but exuded authority, clearly leading the group. After stripping Nicholas of his diamond necklace, credit cards, and some cash, Nicola thought the ordeal was over, but it was only the beginning. The group wasn't satisfied and wanted more. They forced Nicholas back into his car, with one of the assailants taking the driver's seat while the rest divided themselves between Nicholas's car and their own. Holding him at gunpoint, they demanded he call his older brother Elias and request $1,000 and a gun in exchange for his release. Otherwise, they threatened to kill him. Driving at high speed toward the family home, the group thought they had control of the situation, but Elias, awakened from a deep sleep by Nicholas's distressing call, quickly took charge. After alerting his siblings to the danger, he reassured them that he wouldn't let the criminals get what they wanted. Above all, he was determined to protect his family. When the criminals arrived, Elias confronted them without hesitation. Armed and carrying a concealed carry permit, he stepped outside to face the attackers. But the confrontation quickly turned deadly. According to later investigations, Adrian acted faster than Elias could react, firing his weapon and fatally wounding him. The scene became even more traumatic as Elias's family, who had been watching in horror, witnessed the tragic event unfold. The attackers fled the scene, 2 on foot and 2 in the car, while Nicola used the chaos to escape and seek safety. Around 2:20 a.m., one of Elias's sisters called emergency services, reporting her brother's critical injuries. Meanwhile, Luis, their father, was jolted awake by the sound of his phone. The call from his daughter brought the worst news imaginable. Stricken with grief, he struggled to explain the situation to Alicia, Elias's mother, who was devastated. Rushing to their son's side, they arrived at the scene in less than 5 minutes, only to find Elias lying on the pavement. They couldn't tell if he was still alive, but the sight of his motionless body pierced their hearts. Paramedics arrived shortly after, but it was too late. Elias was pronounced dead that fateful morning. He was just 24 years old. Alicia later confessed that she couldn't stop asking herself why such a tragedy had to happen to her eldest son, a young man who had always stayed out of trouble, avoided bad influences, and never dabbled in drugs. The police discovered 3 handguns and a rifle near Elias's body. While his grieving family struggled to process their loss, they recounted the events to officers. They explained how Nicola had arrived with 3 armed men who were threatening him. Nicola reappeared later that night, shaken and in tears. He was now burdened not only by the loss of his brother, his role model, but also by an overwhelming sense of guilt for unintentionally putting Elias in harm's way. The authorities launched an investigation to bring the culprits to justice. While canvassing the area for evidence, detectives found Nicholas's car abandoned and damaged a few blocks from the crime scene. An autopsy confirmed that Elias had been struck by 5 bullets, all of which proved fatal. As part of the inquiry, Nicholas had to recount the harrowing events to investigators, a process that was both painful and traumatic. Despite the emotional toll, he was driven by a deep desire for justice for his brother. Nicholas shared everything he could remember, including his brief online interaction with Anna and her role in the events. He revealed that, after the crime, Anna had texted him, claiming she was on the run from the 3 men, whom she described as dangerous and unhinged. Anna insisted she didn't know the men involved and claimed she had nowhere to go. But despite her attempts to distance herself from the incident, neither Nicholas nor the detectives believed her. A few days later, after laying Elias to rest, his fiancée found the strength to speak to the media about the man she had planned to spend her life with. In one interview, she described Elias as someone with a huge heart, deeply devoted to his family and friends. She expressed that neither she nor the Otero family could comprehend why such a tragedy had to happen to someone so undeserving. The family's only hope was that justice would rise to meet the circumstances. The heartbreaking case shook the Albuquerque community, leaving its residents grappling with disbelief, anger, sadness, and frustration. Many sought answers and justice in what was shaping up to be one of the city's most violent years. By mid-2021, the number of violent crimes was on track to surpass the record of 80 homicides set in 2019. Experts had already warned in 2017 that Albuquerque was facing a rising tide of violence, but despite promises from officials to improve the justice system, many families felt abandoned, with repeat offenders often facing little consequence. Elias's death only deepened the community's distrust in the system. The Otero family, in particular, felt increasingly disheartened as investigators withheld details about the case to avoid compromising the investigation. This lack of communication left them uncertain whether the culprits would ever face justice. Meanwhile, the police worked discreetly to identify the suspects, focusing on Anna's social media activity. Their investigation revealed that she had been chatting with another man the night before Elias's murder. Using the same tactic of luring victims through social media, Anna and her accomplices had robbed this man of his car but left him physically unharmed. It was that stolen vehicle the group used in their next plan, this time aiming for a bigger target. With these findings, the police intensified their efforts to identify the other 3 individuals involved. The first to be apprehended was Adrian. Evidence pointed to his central role in the crime, and his past made matters worse. Adrian was no stranger to law enforcement, having been implicated in a 2020 homicide where a 16-year-old boy was fatally shot. Despite the severity of that case, a judge had released Adrian on bail, requiring only that he wear a GPS monitor. In December 2021, just before Christmas, a warrant was issued for Adrian's arrest. On December 27th, he turned himself in and was charged with open murder, kidnapping, 2 counts of armed robbery with a deadly weapon, evidence tampering, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. After Adrian's initial court appearance, Alicia told a local news station that the family was relieved by the case's progress. She recalled how she and her husband couldn't hold back their tears upon learning of Adrian's arrest. Alicia shared that during her son's funeral, she had promised to fight for him, and that promise had become her strength and reason to carry on. As for Anna, she remained at large. The Albuquerque Police Department circulated her photo, asking the community for help locating her. While Anna appeared smiling in the picture, her legal troubles were mounting, and her role in the crime made her a wanted figure. Alicia made a public plea, urging anyone who spotted Anna to contact Crime Stoppers, a community program that allows people to provide anonymous tips about criminal activity. She described Anna as dangerous and a threat to society. In response, the organization offered a $2,500 reward for information leading to Anna's arrest. Meanwhile, the police withheld the identities of the other two suspects and did not issue warrants for their capture. It wasn't until late January 2022, about a month after Adrian's capture, that authorities located and arrested Anna. The young woman faced multiple charges, including open murder, kidnapping, 2 counts of armed robbery, evidence tampering, and conspiracy. She was held in a detention facility without bail. A local news outlet reported that law enforcement was still searching for a third suspect. Following Anna's arrest, Alicia once again appeared on television, reaffirming her hope for justice in her son's case. However, despite the progress, Alicia believed a crucial battle remained, advocating for stricter laws in New Mexico. She openly stated that nothing less than a life sentence for each perpetrator would suffice, and voiced concerns about the possibility of bail, allowing them to walk free before facing trial. To find solace and a sense of purpose, Alicia connected with other mothers who had also experienced the unimaginable loss of a child to violence. These women met regularly, offering each other support and brainstorming ways to combat community violence. Through these conversations, Alicia reflected deeply on the tragedy and sought answers to the questions that haunted her. She concluded that, unknowingly, Nicholas had made himself an easy target. Both he and Elias often posted photos and videos of their cars and belongings on social media, inadvertently drawing the attention of individuals like Anna and others with malicious intent. In August 2022, Anna accepted a plea deal. During a virtual hearing, she pleaded guilty to aggravated armed robbery with a firearm, conspiracy, and other charges. In exchange, the charges of murder and kidnapping were dropped. Under the terms of the agreement, Anna was sentenced to serve between 5 and 15 years in prison. Adrian, on the other hand, pleaded not guilty to all charges during his own virtual hearing. Alicia and Luis expressed their devastation to the media, describing how the overwhelming evidence against Adrian made the judge's decision even more incomprehensible. They feared for their safety and that of their remaining children with Adrian free in the community. However, the prosecutors appealed the ruling, and, much to the relief of the Otero family, the state's Supreme Court ultimately overturned the judge's decision. In the spring of 2024, Adrian accepted a plea deal for both the 2020 and Elias's 2021 cases. During a courtroom hearing, he pleaded guilty to both crimes. Prosecutors revealed that his accomplices from both incidents, including Anna, were prepared to testify against him. Anna, as it turned out, had orchestrated the robbery involving Nicholas and Elias, though authorities clarified she had been under Adrian's influence and control. Adrian was confirmed as the leader of the group. Before his sentencing, Adrian apologized to the victims' families, but the judge handed down a 29-year prison sentence. As for the other suspects, no significant updates have emerged as of this writing. Despite the convictions, Alicia and Luis continue to mourn the absence of their son. They often reminisce about his love for spicy wings and barbecue sauce, moments that now bring bittersweet memories. Thanks for tuning in to Unreal True Crime. If you're intrigued by mysteries from around the world, check out our new channel, Latin Crimes, where we dive into the gripping true crime stories of Latin America. Don't miss out. Subscribe now for more thrilling investigations.